Are there days in your life when you feel like you're just not going to make it? I can vividly remember that feeling when I was pastoring a church in Mobile, Alabama. We had taken a step as a church to relocate. However, as always, when you take a bold step, there'll be opposition to the move. At times, that opposition was pretty intense. There were times during that process that I felt alone and abandoned. I remember one day sitting in my office praying, and God brought to my mind the story of Jesus telling his disciples to get into a boat because we're going to the other side. On the way over to the other side, a severe storm hit the lake, the Sea of Galilee, literally threatening the lives of everybody on board. During that storm, Jesus stepped forward and calmed the storm. Well, that story was very familiar to me. Yet, the piece of that story that stood out to me that day was when Jesus said, "We're going to the other side." Suddenly it dawned on me that if it was Jesus' idea to get in the boat, and if Jesus said, "We're going to the other side," then the boat wasn't going to go down in the middle of the lake. That day, God gave me a peace that if I was in his boat and if I was in his will, I could rest assured he would always get me to my destination. I bring that up because in Paul's letter to the Ephesian church, he wrote in Philippians, or to the Philippian church, he wrote in Philippians chapter 1, verse 6, being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion unto the day of Jesus Christ. That's great news. Pay attention to the two words, confident and completion. Paul said, I am confident that God will finish what he started. In our last reflection, we talked about the fact that we are in a process of God doing a good work in our lives. Today, we focus on the fact that God has committed himself to finishing that project and that process. The truth is that a believer is never alone. You are never abandoned or forsaken. What God started in you, he will finish. So don't let Satan plant seeds of doubt and despair in your mind and in your heart. Make sure you're in his boat, headed in the direction that he wants you to go. And then if those are true, you can be confident that God will complete his mission in your life. Storms may come up in your journey, but they'll just be a part of the faith expedition that God is using to build up your trust. They will not, however, stop what God is doing in your life. You can be confident of God's presence and power and work in your heart today. Paul would also write in Romans 4:21 that he was fully persuaded that God had the power to do what he promised he would do. Here's a great thought for the day. God is able to keep me. Here's a great prayer for today. God, don't let me get sidetracked by all the distractions in the world. Let me live in the confidence that I am in your hands and I am safe. God bless you and have a great day today.